ever seen a movie before, put your mic on. I think anyone who's ever seen a movie before can definitely agree that thrillers are up there with the big dogs. I was hooked on these like out the womb. Like I was pushed out and my mama was like, oh my god, this is baby boy, and the doctor was like, he's having a heart attack. And I was like, you do that shit? And I want to talk about it because the history is like fucking way back. Like 20 years ago, dude. Like many modern art forms, it all kind of goes back to the German Expressionism movement. Wow. Which I'm not fucking talking about because that's what people study in like fucking university in Degrassi. But basically, originating in Germany and like peaking in 1920, the Expressionism movement was like a pushback on like the rising industrialism and the dehumanizing effects that World War I had, specifically on Germany. The movement affected like every aspect of everything. It affected film, architecture, paintings, drawings, radio, fucking sick graffiti on the fucking Berlin Wall, not that one. Artists sought to depict the subjective experience of the world rather than the reality that they were living in, and pushing against the like dogma that the State Department art education was pushing. Like they were all about like, if you're painting a fucking building and you're making it look like that building. Now, while it took place like over 100 years ago now, it's pretty much the reason why art is the way art is. If you fucking know, you know, bro. Its influence is everywhere. And it's
still felt film, dance, sculpture, literature, fucking architecture, fucking
fashion.
Everything. Works of fiction dating from before this movement are definitely still considered influences on the thriller genre. Fucking nerd ass books like the Count of Monte Cristo and the Riddle of the Sands. Not the Jimmy Buffett album, I know, you saucy little dog, that's your favorite one. Are considered to be like definitely the first kind of focused thriller novels. They really like tried to elicit some kind of like stress from the reader. Yeah, well, works like fucking Homer Simpson's Odysseus and fucking the Epic of Gilgamesh. Did add a little bit of the soup. Anywho, who's this? Facts. Its themes hugely influenced fucking Big Daddy Kane. Fucking Freddie Hitchcock himself, baby. Fucking put it in your head. Talked about Hitchcock's influence pretty briefly in my spy movies video. Because he kind of did that shit in tandem with thrillers, but I think this is where he like needs, because whether I like it or not, this double chin fucked molded the genre into what it is now. Like he fucking did that shit. He took that fucking thing into his shed and he got freaky with it. For the majority of cinema's like early days, it was pretty fucking bleak out there. It was like all surprise and all action. It was all horror, or it was all Western. It was all Five Nights at Freddy's, or it was all fucking Red Dead Redemption 2.
Get down here now, you inbred trash!
So, horror and Western were like the reigning genre in the West. It wasn't until Alfie came along.
Hey, the big man's back!
And was like,
hold up, wait a minute.
Give him a small tug under the table, and then he thought that
Today, Junior?
the use of surprise was like wasted. Like he was like, you just blew your load right at the start. and now they're spent. He really believed that suspense and like is like what keeps people engaged. He was so fucking right for that. He established a lot of his signature techniques and like structure and like mojo in his 1927 film The Lodger, The London Fog. It tells the tale of the hunt for Jack the Ripper and a man on the run. It was like, and I think it came at like the exact right fucking time.
It's time to play the game.
Because it was made like, I think like a year or two before sound was a thing. So this is like at the height of the silent movie era, which means that like fucking Hitchcock's tool belt was like a tool bench. And it like really made Hitchcock focus and like think. He's like, okay, how the fuck am I gonna build all this suspense and all this stuff without dialogue? He had to rely on like framing and camera movement and the editing to create the tone and to bring the audience in, and he was really fucking good at it. Like he treated the camera as like a fly on the wall of the scene, but then like maybe bring that fly in for like a little kiss. Anyway, with the critical and commercial success of The Lodger, Hitchcock went fucking sicko mode. Maybe it's here we don't dance on in the booth. And formed arguably the most generational fucking run of theatre film history has ever fucking seen. 53 fucking movies, and like 5 aren't amazing. The other 48 are like beast. A lot of big man success came from his like, he just had this fucking ability to adapt books. As always, books have largely been pretty good basis for a movie. Like if you got a good book, it'd make a pretty fucking good movie. And I think it allows the filmmaker a lot more brain juice to focus on like the film instead of having to worry about like, fuck, does this make sense? And like, oh, I don't think this setting is right. Oh, this actor's fucking dog shit. And Freddie was just a fucking beast in the sheets. He was so good. Like taking what he interpreted from a book and like slapping it on film and it being perfect. Like 40 of his films are adapted from books, and they're like his best ones. You've got the 39 Steps, the Rear Window, the fucking Birds, Vertigo, Yellow Psycho, Strangers on a Strain. It's very clear, to me at least, that this guy was a fucking nerd and was obsessed with like the feelings that these books could elicit. He just like knew that these books were like meant for something better. Like he knew that they were great books, but there was a medium that was calling to them. Hey baby girl! Begging for them to like come and stay over. And while he was so good at it, I don't think it's fucking easy. I think a lot of people are like, bro, fucking, you're making a movie about a book. Just do the book. It's so easy. Everyone reads books different. The image you paint in your fucking Sherlock Holmes mind palace is completely fucking different to what that guy thinks about when he's reading books. So the fact that fucking Hitchcock nailed it every time is so fucking slay, bitch. With a lot of his like now famous techniques like the dolly zoom, everyone in their dog uses now, and I think they're downplayed now, but MacGuffins they're a Hitchcock thing. He made those things up, and yes, they're fucking everywhere now. When he used them right. He used them to draw attention away from the audience so that he could cook something up in the background and then fucking reveal some shit and the Fucking audience would be like, fucking what the fuck happened? He truly became a fucking master of puppets. Yeah! And birthed that feeling that thrillers are like so known for today. Alright, that's enough about fucking big dick over here. Fucking double chin, Freddie Nixon looking ass motherfucker. Now, with the definitions of a thriller firmly in place, the genre was just perfected, like over and 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 over, from the 60s to the 90s. We hit the gritty on that shit so hard for 30 years. This fucking guy again, get out of my house. Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho hit cinemas in 1960. I don't know what I meant to say about it. It is literally defined as the most analyzed film in history. There is literally nothing I could say about it that someone hasn't already said. So, it set new rules for what could be shown on screen at the time, has possibly the most suspense-driven score in a scene. The shower scene is so very cool. Yes, I know how many cuts it took them to fucking do it. Yeah, big thumbs up. Big thumbs up for the ending. I love the guy, but I'm sick of gobbling cock.
What did he say?
So, next, we had The Silence of the Lambs. Now, if Psycho built this beautiful thriller staircase, Silence of the Lambs was the first one to like take a nice step up it. But no, Jonathan Demme was like, fuck a step, I'm doing a tray flip. And he fucking
disrespecting the concrete in a good way.
This movie like really evolved how the thriller genre treated serial killers and psychopaths. Before the lambs, there was the sheep. Hell yeah, Sigma. Shut the fuck up. Killers in film were like claw-handed, fucked up little bridge people. Like mindless drones, depraved, fucking one-dimensional, they're boring. Some of them are still good, I'm not saying that, but they were very fucking straightforward. But Hannibal Lecter, look at him, he's so cute. He was intelligent, cordial, unsettling, and fucking volatile. Audience never really knew if he was just gonna fucking snap. It was like fucking walking into a ramen shop and asking for tonkatsu, got a nuke strapped to your chest. It is one of it is one of 3 films ever, to this day, to win the big 5 Oscars. Oscar Wilde, Oscar from Shark Tale, Oscar the Grouch, whatever the fuck those things are. It also put girlies front and center. Paved the way for a much more honest and like realistic look at what female police officers and agents are like on screen. Fucking now, after Demme just decaffeinated the competition, 4 years later, David Fincher burst into the studio and started fucking barking at people. David Fincher, I hardly know her. 1995's Seven did to crime thrillers what Leather Jackets did to The Matrix, baby, and fucking Oakleys. Seven elevated the thriller genre to like such amazing new heights. As you can tell, I'm a big fan. The movie pioneered like so many tropes that are used in freaking every single piece of crime thriller shit that you see now. Like the use of symbology in killings to show the people following the murders how bad the things that they walk past every day can really be. Like showing the like heights of greed and what it could lead to, and like the heights of envy and what it could lead to, and the heights of wrath and what it can lead to. The like use of foreshadowing in the city's decay and its like influence of the climax, the use of environment to just convey the tone. I'll talk about this later. Fucking David is so good at this shit. I know it's just rain, but bro, god damn. The way he uses it just like creates this fucking blanket that is always there, and it doesn't let them breathe for a second, bro. Like they don't get a second of like hope or reprieve or like light. And it's such a good way of like showing how beaten down they are physically. And then his use of the two protagonists system to really show how one's view of morality and justice is like fucking totally kind of okay, and the other one is fucking insane. And like before this, like crime thrillers were just like, they were like pretty much just big chases. They weren't nuanced or like reflective at all. Seven stopped and showed what can happen when one man is chasing another man, and the acts of one man can just fucking push the other one to the same extremes of depravity that the other guy was doing. I think, personally, it is one of the greatest thrillers ever made. Its tone, setting, acting, themes, plot, rain on gun. I can't find any faults in our stars. The first time I watched this film, man, I just remember being so insanely locked in. I was already like, I knew it was going to be good because it's Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman, but I don't think I sat down the entire time. I think I was just hovering over my couch like a fucking ski. I was skiing? No, cut that out. And yeah, I love Fincher's approach to filmmaking. Like, fucking Mindhunter, bro? The way he uses environment to set the tone and create this feeling of hopelessness and dread is incredible. Oh god, it's so depressing. It has to be good, right? Now, hands down, personal fave movies of all time. But flick the balls off a little turkey, Old Boy fucking changed me in my mitochondria, bro. It's a Korean film, 2003. Do not watch the one from 2013. Follows a very old story structure that the Count of Monte Cristo pioneered. Oh my god, it's like that. Okay. But it does it better than literally anything else. Anything before Old Boy is trash, anything after Old Boy is trash. I'm sorry, John Wick, I love you.
Eat shit and die, bitch.
Old Boy better. It does it and also deconstructs the entire shebang whilst doing it. It's so good. No spoilies. But the basic plot is our main character, Odesu, this fucking crazy looking guy here, is out on the town one night, hammered as fuck, and his friend is picking him up from the police station, calls his daughter to say happy birthday, and he turns around and that little baby chicken is gone. And he gets, oh my god, imprisoned in a hotel room for 15 years. And then like he's about to get out, finally escape, and they just let him out. They put him in a box, they put him on a roof, and then they call him and they're like, hey, figure all this out, figure out why we did it in 5 days, or we'll fucking kill you and your daughter. Park Chan-wook spins such a complex, amazing narrative that explores like revenge, and if revenge is good from any point of view, like if someone did this to you, is revenge still warranted? Then like the effect of isolation on a person and what that does to someone, what that prolonged isolation does to someone, and the human like condition after that, and the lengths that that now changed person will go to fucking desperately hold on to any form of love, no matter what that love is. It is shocking. It's emotional. It's fucking traumatic. It is tragic. It is definitely disgusting. The way this movie had me feeling, like, thrillers try to elicit a lot of different emotions when they're made, and they're happy if they can do it at least once. This movie had me feeling fucking all of them the entire fucking time, and it's just a testament to how masterful this is in its craft. Also, shout out motherfucking hallway motherfucking one-shots, baby, because this shit made that stuff, and it's still the best one. Now, the only other movie that had me seeking fucking medical attention in my seat was 2013's Coherence. If you have not seen this movie, please go watch it. You have to. The way in which I went into this movie with like expectations in the fucking core of the planet, and then had my back blown out so severely I had to get
Jakey, attorneys at law.
If you have not seen this movie, fuck. It comes across as the most cookie cutter, boring shit ever. Basically, 4 couples meet up for a dinner party, and a comet is flying overhead, and everything's like so standard. Like, there's someone doing ketamine. One of the girls is jealous of one of the other girls. That's about it. And then the power cuts out, and it's thunderbolted into the fucking wall. The best thing that Coherence does is by like maybe a third of the way through the movie,
The prophecy is true.
you as the audience are pretty aware of what's happening. You get it. You know what's going on. And the director knows that. The way the movie plays with your knowledge after that reveal is so fucking rude, and it's such a good like representation of like the consequences of paranoia and like betrayal, and it was made with $50,000. Which is fucking insane. I guess it's found footage, like kind of, it's held camera, and it's definitely the best fucking one to do it. Now these films are all just what I think are amazing films that have defined the thriller genre for me. They are undeniable evidence that thrillers are arguably the greatest types of films that can be put to screen. Shut up. It's such a versatile and influential genre that I feel like it's not even that anymore. It's like evolved to become a pillar of the filmmaking process. Like, it's just something that filmmakers should be thinking about when they're making a movie. Like, how is this going to thrill someone? How is this going to pull them in? How is this going to make them ask questions and like think about fucking, don't think about fucking things. And it's what makes it so hard to find a like good example of like a perfect thriller, because like all of these are so good, but they all do different things so well. Like, I can't say Seven's the best thriller. I can't say Silence of the Lambs is the best thriller. I can't say Old Boy's best thriller. They're all so good, but they all focus on different types of thrills. I'd say Seven and like just bounce and be like, that's the best one, fuck you guys. But with so many types of thrillers and like so much criteria for what makes one, I truly think thrillers can be like one of the most subjectively received genres in the history of film, because we all feel anxiety and suspense and exhilaration,
Absolutely electric.
in such different ways. Like, I fucking listen to a song and I'm like, no one feels the same way. I have a friend and she'll have a flash of color on screen and she has a heart attack. So it's different for everyone. Things that I might find thrilling, people don't give a fuck about. Things that a child finds thrilling, adults aren't gonna give a fuck about. So, like, Yeah. But for me, I do think that 7 does it to perfection, with a chilling villain, with strange and like psychological motives that pull back the layers of our protagonists. Like, it's not like you're trying to uncover a mystery the whole time. Like, you kind of are, but you're also walking along with the villain. You know what's going on from the audience. It's not about that. It's about how that villain is influencing and how he's making the protagonist feel, that makes you uneasy the whole time. And then the climax is like, holy fuck, what's gonna happen?
What's in the box?
But I don't fucking know. As I said, kids feel thrillers differently, so they probably think Shark's Tale is the best thriller because the fucking fish almost get Oscar. So who am I to say? I'm just Big Man, and this is just
Way